Hello. I'm doing what I watched in October. I watched my final Halloween related movie that I own. I watched, I didn't really watch any from streaming service. God damn it. Except for one. But we'll talk about it when we get there. Okay, so I'm gonna go do what I normally do. I'll go down the list and I'll tell you if I have it, I've seen it, I have it, or it's new to me. So the first movie that I watched on October 1st, starting at the beginning, is Psycho. I've seen this on the big screen and it was such a great experience, but I love Psycho, obviously. And I feel like this is a really great way to start it off. It's great. And then I watched 1917. That's a new to me movie, and I didn't like it. It was really boring. Okay, then I watched Cemetery Man, and I thought it was okay. Not the best, but it was okay. It's also new to me. And then I watched Scream. Um, Watching this movie is really frustrating because they're mimicking horror movies, so like it's fine, but really, but it also like still frustrates me, which I guess I don't know sometimes, but it's really great. It has Skeet Ulrich on it in it, and I have to be honest, and say that I think Skeet looks a lot better now than he did when he was younger. But yeah, fun movie. And then I watched I'm Gonna Scared Stupid. It's such a staple. I used to rent this on VHS from the movie rental store near my house when I was little. I've seen this a lot, and this is the best Ernest movie. Like no argument, it is the best one. Then I watched Double Double Toil and Trouble, and it has, of course, Mickey and Ashley, but it also has Clarice Leachman as a witch. She comes back as a witch in another movie as well. But there is a character in this. His name is Mr. N, and I had such a crush on him when I was little, and he died a few years ago and I'm still not over it because I really did love him in this movie. He was really sweet. Um, and then we have Adam's Family and Adam's Family Values. I prefer Adam's Family Values. I like both, but the second one I think is the best one. I think most people will agree on that. Okay, then I watched Daddy, which is a short that Dylan Sprouse did, and I enjoyed it. Then I watched Carnival of Souls. This one is very divisive. Some people like it, some people don't. It happens to be one of my favorite movies of all time, so I enjoy it very much. Um, Rear Window. I have seen this movie on the big screen. I've seen it so many times. Um, I haven't seen all of Jimmy Stewart's films, but this one would have to be up there for me. It's just so fun. It's so tense. Grace Kelly's in it, and she gives it. Grace Kelly gives a great performance, but I do not buy Grace Kelly and Jimmy Stewart as a couple. I never have ever. I thought they were a really weird romantic pairing, but I also have Thelma Ritter, who is my queen. She was a character actress who was like, I don't really know if she was because she did have some pretty big, important parts in movies. So she was kind of a character actress, but then she wasn't. I don't know. But in any case, I like Thelma Ritter very much. She's not even on the cover, even though she does play a pretty big part in this movie. But I love that movie. Okay, and then I watched Ford versus Ferrari. Um, it's new to me. It has Matt Damon and Kristen Bale, and I thought it was actually very good. I enjoyed it. Then I watched Demolition, which is another new to me. It has Jake Gyllenhaal, and I love Jake Gyllenhaal. And again, I thought it was wonderful. I recommend it. Then I watched Casper. Um, I think when people think of this movie, they're like, "Oh, it's cheesy. It's a cheesy family film," and in some ways it is. But there are some pretty dark moments in this movie, like when Casper is talking about his death and how his dad's death, and just like it's how it feels to die. Like if you, it's just a movie for kids, I believe. Yep, PG mild, mild language in it as well. Um, and then her dad almost dies. Like there's a lot in this that is really kind of heavy, but I love this movie. It's so good. Um, and I watched Coraline. This one, of course, is a classic. I watch it every single year. I watch it sometimes, even when it's not October. Just love it so much. Oh my god. There's a lot of movies on my bed right now, and I'm stressing out because I'm going to have to put everything back. Okay. And then I watched Hansel and Gretel. This I watch in October, and I watch it in December. The reason is there's Clara Leachman is a witch in this. This is the second movie where she plays a witch. You know, but I watched this in October, obviously, because again she is a witch. And then I watch it in December because there's a gingerbread house. It's a gingerbread house, and there's even the S is even a candy cane. So and so yeah, I watch it both months. And I feel like it fits both months pretty well. Um, and then I watched Ichabod and Mr. Toad. Um, I love this. Of course, this is a classic, but I always wonder what happened to his horse. I always felt so bad for his horse. This sweet little angel having to pit up with all of that. Um, oh my god. Okay. Then I watched Hocus Pocus, obviously. Don't really have to say much about it. Everyone knows it. Except, I think I say this pretty much every time I talk about it, but Gary Marshall and Penny Marshall play husband and wife in the movie, and I know like nothing happens really, but I still find it weird because they were brother and sister in real life, and I don't know. I always find that kind of weird personally that they play husband and wife in a movie. Um, okay. Then I watched Men in Black. There's Men in Black trilogy. Of course, the first one is the best, and then the second one, I don't mind it. The third one, I like the third one too, but the main reason for liking the third one is the twist. Like, there are people who saw this movie, the third one, and they were like, it wasn't very good, but the ending still blew them away. So, it's a good ending. Um, then I watched The Birds. Great movie, of course. Then I watched. What is okay? Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. New to me movie with Christina Applegate. I almost said Richie. Christina Applegate. And I'm not a huge fan of Christina Applegate, if I'm honest, but I liked the movie very much. I thought it was really good. And then I watched A Bigger Splash. I don't remember anyone who was in it, but it was okay. It was fine. Okay, now the one that I had to watch on Netflix, The Haunted Mask. My Blu-ray player wasn't working, but my stepdad figured it out and it works now. But it's on Netflix, so technically I don't really own it. We have it on VHS, but we watched it on Netflix, so technically we do own it. So because I wanted to watch a Halloween related movie that I own for my own personal collection every single day. And even though I didn't watch it on the VHS because I can't watch it on on the VHS. I watched it on Netflix, but I still think it counts, in my opinion. Anyway, and then I watched Marriage Story, which I didn't like, and I kind of figured I wouldn't. It has Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. It was just wasn't good. Um, and then I watched Rebecca, which is such a wonderful movie. It is very perfect. It's perfect for this time of year. It's just so great. Um, oh, forgot. It has Joan Fontaine in it. Fun fact. Okay. All right. Then I watched Young Frankenstein. It has Gene Wilder, of course. It has Peter Boyle, who I feel like has dropped off. People don't really talk about him anymore, and I feel like that's really sad. So, Peter Boyle is in it. It has Cloris Leachman, not as a witch this time. It has Tori. Why couldn't? Okay, I name it probably on the back of this. Why am I struggling? Terry Garr, Kenneth Mars, Madeline Kane. Yeah. Obviously, it's a Mel Brooks film. Great movie. Oh my goodness, there's so many movies. I can't stress to you enough how many movies there are in my movie. And then I watched Jurassic Park. Gotta have the creature movies on this. And then I watched Notorious. What I've seen Casablanca. I know that movie. I've seen it a million times. It's one of my all-time favorite movies of all time. But Cloud Rains is in this as well. And he was also in Casablanca with Ingrid Bergman. And I was watching, when I first watched Notorious and I saw them together, I was like, what else have they been in together? I feel like I've seen them in something. And I was like, obviously Casablanca. Really? Okay, yeah, it has Ingrid Bergman, it has Cary Grant, and it has Claude Rains. Obviously, it's wonderful. Highly recommend it. Oh my god. Okay. Then I watched Zodiac. Perfect movie for this time of year. Jake Gyllenhaal's in it, Mark Ruffalo, Robert Downey Jr., Anthony Edwards. What's this one actor? I can never ever say his name. I think is he on the back of this? Dermot Maloney. I never know how to say his name. I'm gonna see if there's anyone else on here that I should know. No. But this movie is wonderful. Oh, and also has Minkus from Boy Meets World. And no matter how many times I watch this movie, that always it always just amuses me, to be honest. They have the actor who played Minkus on Boy Meets World in a movie like this. But he does a good job in the small. He has a very small part, but I feel like he did a good job for the part that he had. But I just thought it's always amusing to me. And then it also has Anthony Edwards, who played Mark Green on ER, and I love him, so I love that. Oh, and then I watched Portrait of a Lady on Fire, which is new to me, and it was wonderful and lovely, and yes. And then I watched Volver. It has Penelope Cruz, and that was really good. It was really hard to watch at points, but I thought it was great. But then everyone did a great job. Okay, Gremlins. I have such an obsession with Gizmo. Always had an obsession with him. I think he's adorable. And again, this is one you can double up. You can watch it on October, and you can watch it in December, because it's actually a Christmas horror movie. So, there you are. And then I watched Laguna Beach seasons 1 and 2, because Laguna Beach cast from season 1 had a reunion, and I thought it was great. Other people criticized it. I didn't really have a problem with it. I just thought it was fun to see everybody again. So then I wanted to rewatch Laguna Beach because it's one of my all-time favorite shows, and so I watched the first two seasons. The third season you can't really get, and if you even if you could, I wouldn't want it because it was trash. But those first two, second season is kind of not that fun to watch because of Jason, but I still enjoy this. I enjoy everybody else. So, fun to watch. And then I watched Hide and Seek with Dakota Fanning and Robert De Niro. What's funny is when this movie came out, Dakota got so much praise for this movie, and Robert De Niro got a lot of criticism. Interesting, but this movie, when I posted it on Instagram, it got so many notes. Like it's the post that has the most notes right now, and I didn't know that many people like this movie. So, yes, apparently people like it. It is good. I recommend it. Um, and then I watched Murder on the Orient Express, and it has everybody in it. Not everybody, but it has Albert Finney. I'm just gonna read the back here because there's a lot of people in this movie. Um, okay, Albert Finney, Lauren Bacall, Martin Balsam. I don't know who that is, but if you know who he is, he's in this. Ingrid Bergman, Jacqueline Bisset, Jean Pierre Cashel, Sean Connery is in it, and he died today. Interesting. And I'm talking about it today, but um, there's a lot of other people on this. Anthony Perkins, Vanessa Redgrave, Richard Redmark. He's in a lot of things. I feel like Richard Redmark has been in everything ever made in the history of movies. But yeah, fun movie. Okay. Then I watched Wait Until Dark. Alan Arkin, like Audrey Hepburn is incredible in this movie. Alan Arkin is creepy and scary, and that's the point. But like he did a really good job. And he said that he got so much hate from people because he was mean to her in this movie, which I think is funny because that was the whole point of the movie. But people were like, "You were so mean to her," so yeah, it's fun. And then I watched that was new to me, What Lies Beneath, which is crazy that I've never seen it. My brother saw it. I don't know where I was, but he saw it and he liked it, and well, it was good. I thought it was good. So yeah. And then I watched Monster House. I didn't like it. I know a lot of people love this movie, but I felt like the animation was really, really ugly. I was being honest. I don't know. So, got into it. And then I watched Practical Magic. The thing is, I thought I watched this last month, but I watched it at the end of August, and I was like, I don't want to have to like make two posts about it on Instagram. Like posted it if I posted I watched it in September. I didn't want to have to repost that. I posted it again in October, but then I watched it in August. So I was like, okay, enough time has passed for me to want to make another post about it. But yeah. Um, when I saw this movie, I didn't grow up watching this movie. Um, I watched it for the first time a couple years ago, and I didn't really connect with it. But then I bought it because it's like somebody I follow on Twitter who is like my film icon. Like I started really getting into different kinds of films because of her. I'm not gonna say her name because I'm gonna say it wrong, but um, yeah, she's always talking about this movie. Like she's always talking about it. So I was like, I guess I might as well buy it and see it again and see if I changed my mind about it, and I didn't. And then I didn't rewatch it for a while. And then I rewatched it last year and I was like, okay, it's pretty fun. And then I rewatched it and again in August and now I love it. You know, it's interesting how things change, but I love it now. And then I watched October Sky because obviously it's called October Sky, so you need to watch it in October for it to add up. But I love this film. It's one of, I think, if not his first, is one of Jake Gyllenhaal's first movies he ever did. And it's a great first movie. I saw it like 3 times in the theater when it came out. I was obsessed with this movie. And it has Chris Cooper and Laura Dern. And yes, it's a good time. Okay. And then did I do this? Yes. I watched Charade. And obviously it's iconic and I love it very much. Okay. Cary Grant and Audrey Hepburn had never met before they did this movie. Never talked to each other. But their chemistry was like they had known each other for years. Like the way they talked, the way that they were with each other, it felt like old friends. It didn't feel like people who had just met. So I just love their chemistry. I think they had amazing, amazing chemistry in this movie. Um, then they watched E.T. The part where the scientists come and take E.T. away will never not be traumatizing. Like, that is a lot. But obviously, it's a classic movie. It has Drew Barrymore. It has C. Thomas Howell, Peter Coyote, Henry Thomas as Elliot. Um, Dee Wallace, I don't know who that is, but if you know who that is, she's in this as well. Um, it was produced by Kathleen Kennedy. I don't know that. Good for her, I guess. Okay, and it's directed by obviously Steven Spielberg. So great. And then I watched Arsenic and a Lace. This is set on Halloween. Okay. Like even if it wasn't, there's a lot of Halloween elements involved in this movie. Um, I posted once that I watched this like on Halloween or around Halloween, and someone was like, "That's not set in Halloween." And literally, the first thing that it says it was set during Halloween. But whatever. Okay, yes, great movie. And then I watched Repulsion, which was really good. It was really hard to watch, but I thought it was really great. And then I watched Disturbia with Shia LaBeouf, and that was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. So not a fan. And final movie is The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, of course. How can I? You have to watch this in October. It is very important. So, oh my god, if you guys, you can tell, there was a lot of movies. I honestly didn't think I'd be able to do this. And I didn't think I had that many. But clearly I do. So, I'll know for next time. Next month, I'm planning on watching 2 television shows, which is going to be a lot. I'm planning on watching House on and Dawson's Creek. And then when I'm done with that, I'm planning on rewatching Lord of the Rings trilogy. Putting a lot on myself next month, but I really want to do it, so it's gonna happen. So that is all. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good Halloween. That is all. Goodbye.